Cannabis Corner, episode number 1.
The idea is to start a speaker's corner where people can just drop in. I would hopefully have somebody come in now. So what was your vision? I think
Yeah.
we've both been kind of talking about this.
Absolutely. So back in the day, if anybody remembers, Speaker's Corner was basically the precursor to YouTube, where people could spill their guts, talk about their life, talk about the good and bad that's going on in the world, whatever it may be, and it would be snippets of different people coming on. Excuse me. And we sort of want to make that same. Our vision here is to do the same sort of thing. We're sitting here at College and Euclid in Little Italy, right in front of our shop, my shop here with my co-owner of Spirit Leaf Little Italy, at a corner, right in the heart of Little Italy. And quite a time to be operating a business in COVID here. But ultimately, we want to create a platform for many people from the industry who are much bigger influencers than us, coming in to talk about how they got here, what they're doing in the industry, where they see the industry going forward, what their specialty is. We want this to be a platform for other people to talk.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
It would be interesting to have consumers. So people sit down and chat about what they envisioned legalization would mean. I was having that conversation with a buddy of mine when I remember when it became legal, and we were kind of like, I wonder how long until this clusterfuck changes, right?
Seriously,
like if, I just looked at the StatCam report. I'm not sure if you saw it, but it's outpacing, the legal market is outpacing the legacy market.
It's starting, yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting because the measurements are all kind of skewed and what have you, right? I come from a data management background, so if you think of people being able to declare certain things, they're more confident, they're more comfortable with declaring that. But I would love to have a consumer come down and talk about their experiences, right?
Right.
I've gone through a bunch of different dispensaries, and they're all over the place, like, and not in a bad way. Like there's something that caters to everyone. There's a demographic for everyone, or a kind of a vibe that fits in. That was kind of my thing. Just talk to the people.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I think you're doing an awesome job at, Jordan, is there's been, for the first couple years and the years leading up to legalization, there's been so much focused on the licensed producers, the big companies producing weed for everybody. And that's all great and all, and makes it even less impactful when there's no marketing allowed to really happen in this industry.
For sure.
But really, what it all comes down to is the people on the ground. So this whole movement went forward and started because of the grass movements. Like, we have to pay homage to the legacy market. We're here because of them. But now the spotlight needs to be put on retailers, bud tenders, cannabis concierges, as we call them here at Spirit Leaf. The people who are actually interacting with the consumer to help them find the right product based on their needs. The owners jumping through all the hoops of legalization, going through the initial lottery, going through regulations, going through licensing, going through COVID, right? Like, this is literally probably the worst time to open a business, and yet we are still moving forward as a group of people.
Imagine it wasn't declared as an essential service.
Oh my God!
Like especially for you, from a personal experience.
Oh, wow.
Like if it wasn't, then
it'd be a mess. It'd be a mess. Like, we're, being in cannabis, we're, fortunate that, people, there's a high demand for it, so we can sort of say survive a little bit easier compared to other businesses. So we're fortunate because of that. There's still not enough attention brought to the people who are on the ground, and these are the people serving the communities. Being in the cannabis community, we are really a pretty tight-knit group of people. It's a culture of togetherness. To quote our manifesto from Spirit Leaf, we're on a mission to spread peace, love, and harmony. That's really what we're here. Obviously, it's a lucrative business, but it's more than that. We're on the rec side, so we can't talk about the medical benefits as much, but there are massive benefits that come to people, whether it's socially, economically, how it affects them personally.
The therapeutic elements, I think that's been proven.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Time and again. Proven this morning by me.
Totally. Yeah. So we want to start this off as sort of voicing our thoughts on how we got here, like where the industry is, what it took to get to where it is now, and really what we think needs to change going forward. And we want to use this as a platform to other people to really sort of talk about that. I'd like to hear you, Jordan. How did you first get into this business, and what drove you?
It's funny you asked that. Nobody's ever asked me that before.
Wow.
I came from the agency side marketing. I did that for 12 years. I was a product manager, a data guy. I didn't want to be in sales because I wanted to know more than other people. Not that salespeople don't. Go into product, be a know-it-all. I rose fairly quickly in that side because I doubled down on a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter anymore. When I left that job about 2 years ago and started my own consultancy. and one of the clients was actually lifting co. And I became enamored with the industry. Just, it was fascinating. It was cool. Everybody was chilling. Like, everybody was cool to sit down and talk. Just the fact that it was, you're on the kind of on the cusp of something new, something revolutionary, probably the biggest boom since kind of the .com era, where something has changed society so completely.
Massively.
And I always thought that it'd be cool to be integrated in that. I think I can cut out a space for myself. I'm confident enough in my skill set for that. And then it just kind of spiraled. I wrote this like Jerry Maguire manifesto one night. It actually happened that there was a green organic Dutchman that came into my room, started talking to me about all of the content that can be done, and I like that Vice style stuff. I wanted it to be focused on the Canadian industry and retailers, right? Like like you say, the frontline people, the people that are the ones servicing this, the ones that could potentially give the industry a great name or potentially give the industry a bad name.
Big time, yeah.
So why don't we explore these? I was also became fascinated from the documentary side on the path to expungement. It doesn't affect me directly, but I have friends that have been, charged with possession, and the fight and plight that they were put through in order to get just a regular 9 to 5 job is crazy. And to think that is now legal. So that's why I think I told you I'm talking to Cannabis Amnesty about that very thing. We're doing a profile in order to get people to really understand.
No, I love that. For me, how I got into this, I come from a sales background, sales training, sales leadership, but I was always involved in the cannabis community in some aspect, I'm a consumer myself. I love the benefits that it brings to people when used responsibly, whether it's just helping you chill out, relax, helping you have fun, get on with your day. And then on the medical side, there's a whole slew of benefits that we're not going to get into that are really just being discovered thanks to the ability to research and study that. So when privatization happened, Premier Ford announced that, I jumped on my business plan and wanted to get involved in this somehow. But then I came across a little company called Spirit Leaf. They're based out of Alberta, franchise-based business, mainly owner-operated, local owner-operator. There are some corporate stores, getting close to hitting about 60 stores nationwide. What really connected me with this is their connection to the culture, being able to recognize the legacy market, the trailblazers that brought us here. Darren Bonder, the CEO, who's led this, he comes from a franchise background, and he himself has that same vision. He wants to bring the true culture to the mass. He knows what he's doing. He's a visionary in the industry. Spirit Leaf have done a great job of combining technology with this nature type vibe, earthy type of appearance. So you come in and you come into our stores and they're nicer, they're clean, they're a little bit high end, but it's not overwhelming with technology. It doesn't give you that hospital type vibe, right?
Yeah, so it's more of a cottage vibe to me, like a Northern Ontario or Northern Canada version of it, right?
Exactly, yeah. Coming from the mountains, although we're here in the city, Toronto's actual slogan is a city within a park. There is a connection to that, and outside of the city, we got a lot of wilderness. It really matches with me and my opinion of the culture. Where we've gone in the industry as a whole is absolutely massive. Like, to say that we're fully legal is pretty incredible, right?
Mind blowing.
Yeah,
It's crazy to me to think I've ever expected that.
Right.
I was hopeful. I was in Vancouver and I was like, I liked the vibe of it there.
Yes, yeah.
But it was cool that it was practically legal. Now that it's legal, it's not.
Yeah. But that being said, we got a long way to go.